Welcome back to some more The Legends of Heroes, The Trails of Cold Steel 2! In the last one we left off, we were in the middle of a stopover day, and we were using our bonding points to bond with our classmates. And we just got here, and let's see, we were going to bond with, I think, Machias next. Yeah, so let's go ahead and run out of the seas right up ahead around the corner, it looks like. Let's go do a bonding with Machias. I'll be taking a look around Ruhr Institute of Technology soon. It's practically the premier technical university in the country, so I think any time I spend there will be to my benefit. I would imagine so. We did go inside during our field study, but that was just for Professor Schmidt's request, so we didn't explore much. Still, it's very you to make a break for the nearest school when we finally get a little time to rest. Yeah, Machias is the stereotypical nerd, is he not? Well, if there's something I can only see while we're here, why wouldn't I? Maybe you should do the same. No better way to lift your spirits than to get your mind off of what's getting them down. I'll keep that in mind, thanks. Maybe he's right. Checking out the Institute probably would cheer me up. Let's do it. Yeah, I think you're onto something here. Would it be okay if I tagged along? Of course. I was kind of hoping you would. Shall we? Whoa! What was that? Sorry about that, guys. They got remote control cars. Cool. Hey, I recognize you two. You guys came here for a field study one time with your other classmates, right? I hit the nail on the head, but mind explaining what those two tiny cars are? Actually, I think I remember seeing them during our field study too. These babies, they're a kind of new toy that we're developing. We're calling them our Orbital remote control cars. They're basically little cars that run on Orbital power that you can drive around with these radio frequency control devices. With these things settling down here in Ruhr, we're off to test our new and improved ones all around town. That's some impressive technology. You've replicated the look of the Reinford Company's Lux line of vehicles very well, too. Oh, do you recognize them, Machias? With the number of cars on the road in Heimdall, you start to recognize different models after a while. So I eventually decided to start doing some research into what each one had to offer. The Lux series was one of the ones that I found myself particularly fond of, so it's the name stuck in my mind. Now there's a man with taste. If you can appreciate the beauty of these little babies, you're gonna go far in life. Actually, you're just the kind of guy who we'd like to give these things a little test run. Are you serious? As serious as we've ever been. We want so many people playing with these things as possible, right? Oh, actually, it'd be great if you could grab another friend too. Three people racing each other wouldn't just be awesome, but it would also provide with valuable data. Well, there's four of us here. Why can't? Okay, whatever. Well, in that case, we'd be happy to play with your cars for you. And I already know who our third will be, though I hardly can call him a friend. Wait, you're not thinking of Eustace? Let me guess. What is it with this love-hate relationship between Machias and Eustace that's just ever since the first time they met each other? It's like they love each other, but they hate each other. You know, it's such a love-hate relationship. So, yeah, he was. Of all the things you could summon me out of the blue for a toy car race. Still, it's not as though I have anything better to do. I accept your challenge. Ha! Smile while you still can. I expect you to give this your all too, Reed. Okay, if you insist. Well, now that you have the controls, the course will take you from here around to the front of the RF building and to the top steps over there, the F. You're going to have to chase after your cars, though, since the orbital waves have a limited range. Well then, shall we get started? Take your positions. Ready, set, go! This would be a really cool mini game they could add into the game too, like to be able to have some remote control car races as like a mini game. That would be so cool. Their cars left the starting line, and the race of the century began. A race of the century, really? Okay. The three of them chase furiously after their cars, struggling to adjust to unfamiliar controls. And as they finally neared the finish line, Eustace and Machias hit their competitive peak, each one desperate to claim victory. Gah, get the hell out of my way! Kneel before you be fool! Guys, calm down a bit or you're gonna... Oh! I saw that one coming. What? Impossible! We have our winner! In first place, Reach Walter! Is it seriously? It was neck-and-neck race, but once they crashed their cars, Eustace and Machias didn't stand a chance. Looks like you got a bit carried away at the wheel there, fellas. That was careless of me. This is completely ridiculous. But we got some fantastic data thanks to you three. We'll have to get this back to the lab and start brainstorming improvements right away. Great work, you guys. Thanks. The race complete, Eustace went back to whatever he was doing, and the researchers skipped off gleefully to the Institute. Woo! Didn't expect that would end up being such a big thing. I'm a little frustrated that I didn't manage to come in first, but if the whole thing cheered you up, I'd say it was well worth doing. Thanks, Machias, that means a lot. Hey, no need to make a big deal out of it. On a more pragmatic note, I can't see something like toy cars becoming very successful during wartime. Oh, on the contraire, Machias, on the contraire. During wartime can be some of the... I don't know. I think during wartime, parents would be more likely to give their kids something like that to distract them from the ongoing war around them, right? Like, unless you're right in the middle of a battlefield, then yeah, I suppose toy cars wouldn't be the most popular thing, but I think people kind of turn to, in hard times, not just war, but depressions and lockdowns, people kind of turn to escapism and fun things like video games and toy cars. It's kind of what people do, right? So, yeah, I think they're in a war. Heck, why not? Get yourself a toy car and drive it around. Why not? Just another reason for us to fight for peace, I suppose. Yeah, that's a fight I'm sure we'll win. Besides, if these things ever make it to market, we can have another race. Haha, sounds good to me. Next time, I am taking Eustace down. Rain's like, give it a rest, you two. Your bond with Maki is strengthened. Like, you two just need to go on a date or something. Jeez Louise. Get it over with. You guys love each other. It's obvious. You got a bromance going on. Just give into it. Alright. Alright, well, I guess we gotta pick who we're gonna do our final bonding point with. There's Princess Alphen, which is weird that we could do a bonding with her, but I guess we could. And Milliam was probably the other one I was thinking about. So let's open up our menu and see. Oh, Link, yeah. I guess Milliam? I really don't know who else to... Milliam and Eustace are the only ones we still have at level 3. And I don't know how other people get bonds with each other. Like, how would Elisa increase her bond with, like, Emma, say, to get level 4 with Emma? Or with Milliam? I'm not really sure. I guess when they're linked together, you gain some bonding points, some link points. Okay. Oh, there's 2 pages, so yeah. So everybody's at least at level 3 with each other, so that's cool. It still has Angelica listed as a party member too. That's pretty cool. Of course, you know, Sharon was listed as a party member for a while too, and now she's not. And Toval at the beginning of the game. So I guess it really doesn't mean a lot. We could lose Angelica again, just like we lost them, but I don't really know who else to have a bonding moment with. We haven't had one with Emma, or Eustace, or Gaius, or Milliam, or Elisa. I don't really know, because nobody else that we do one with is going to actually be level. We're going to level up, but I'm trying to think of who I would be most likely to use out of the ones we don't have. We haven't bonded with yet. I like Elisa. She's a very good support character. She has those things like Blessing Arrow that increase CP and HP, which is real nice. It's a really handy thing to have. And obviously, Rean and Elisa have a thing for each other, so I guess Elisa might be the logical choice here. Yeah, what the heck? Why not? Let's do Elisa. Now, what floor is she on? She's in the Rhineford building, but where in the Rhineford building? Can we even... Like, how would we even be able to tell which floor to go to? Alright, I'm starting to consider maybe Millium. Millium's the way to go. Or, how do we even go to a different floor? Where's the elevators? There. There they are. Okay, I guess she's at her house. I guess that makes sense. Makes perfect sense. So there's 24 stories to this building. From the outside, it looks like more, but maybe it's not. Maybe 24 is that's about right. Looks like it's probably Princess Alphen's the other one here. What are you up to, Elisa? I'm just checking out the rooms to make sure everything's in order. Sharon supposedly put everything back in order now that Director Ragnar's gone, but still, it can't hurt to double check, right? I'd hate it if he ran off with something valuable on his own, on his way out. Yeah, seems like the kind of guy who develops sticky fingers. Do you want a hand or anything? I'm fine, thanks. I've got a pretty good idea of where everything was, so it shouldn't be too much trouble. Mother's more than busy enough now, so I might as well get it done. I feel like a shelf route anyway. Are you sure about doing this on your own? I mean, 2 people would be able to get the job done twice as fast, right? What are you planning, Schwarzer? Nothing at all, I swear. Just kidding. Of course, I'll take you up on that. The 2 of them made their way around the Rhineford household, scouring each and every room for any signs of malfeasance or missing property. Fortunately, thanks to Sharon organizing everything the night before, it didn't take them too long. Before they knew it, they only had one room remaining, the chairman's room. Yes, long too. Getting a little Yoda speaking there, reversing my words around. Yes. Well, I'm glad to see that at least the rooms aren't a complete mess like they were yesterday. Sharon's done a great job cleaning up everything. And it doesn't look like there's anything missing either. Well, that's good news. As much as I feel bad criticizing Angelica's uncle, Heidel Ragnar must be an absolute slob. You'd think as a noble he'd at least pay a little more mind to cleanliness? I feel sorry for his housekeeping staff. It's probably more than being a noble. He thought he could get away with never having to clean anything. Impersonating your mother seemed to have inflated his ego. You're probably right. Suddenly, having power over someone has never been able to stand against must have been a real threat. Threat and treat do have a lot of the same letters, so whoops. Either way, we're almost finished up here, so what is it? Oh, I just noticed something sticking out slightly from between 2 of these books. Huh? This is... Aww. It's a photograph of you as a little girl. And that looks like your mother, which would mean... Yeah, that's my father. Why is this hidden away in her desk, though? Maybe she pulled it out to look at it every now and then and while she was working, but didn't want anyone to know. Honestly, I'm surprised, too, but here it is. I don't think there's any doubt that it's important to her. I guess you're right. Yeah, of course it would be, right? Elisa put the photograph back where she found it, and the 2 of them finished checking the rest of the rooms. Once their work was done, they treated themselves to a well-deserved rest. Ooh, that sure took a while, huh? I can only imagine how much of a task that would have been if you had to do it all by yourself. Truth be told, I probably would have just given up part way in and just left the rest to share it. Thank you so much, Reen. For what, helping out? Well, sure, but while finding that photo earlier might have just been a coincidence, I doubt I would have looked around in my mother's room if you hadn't been there. If I hadn't, I never would have discovered that or realized that maybe, somewhere deep down, she really does care. I think you would have, even if not today, you'd have realized it eventually. She's your mother, after all. The two of you will always have that connection as a family, like it or not. I think the day will come when you two understand how much you care for each other, with or without a photo to show. I'd like to think so, at least. Talking with you like this reminds me of when we had our field study there. We had a little heart-to-heart about Mother back then, didn't we? In this same room. It was this room, actually. There's a lot I'm really thankful to you for, though. I wouldn't have been able to free my mother or this town or the city on my own. And this is hardly the first time you've supported me or helped me accomplish something when I needed it the most. So, for all the times I was too stubborn to say it, thank you, Reen. I hope I'll get the chance to repay you for this someday, for everything. Repay me? Well, anyways, thanks for all your help today. I'm gonna be going now. See you later. Oh, right. I'm not sure what that was all about, but I guess I'd better be ready to head out too. Alright, so our bonding points are spent. I guess it's time to progress with the story. Sarah was another one we could have done. Ooh. Maybe I should have done a bonding event with Sarah. Let's see, what is our level with Sarah anyways? Okay, level 4. Angelica's another one, but I don't think she was on as an option on the map, so. The one with Elisa was heartwarming though. I liked it. I'm glad we did it. Okay, so although the bonding moments with Sarah and Reen are always so cringe and awkward. Sarah is just a cringe and awkward person though, so I mean, it goes the reason, right? Stands the reason. Should I go and check on Valimar in the hold? If I do, I probably won't have the time to do anything else out here. It looks like the maintenance is nearly finished. Returning to the Courageous recalls the main story to events. Any unseen bonding events will no longer be available. Oh, are you boarding the Courageous already, Reen? You don't want to stay out a little longer? The maintenance ain't even done yet. Ah, it's Lindy and Vivi. Oh, hey, you two. Yeah, I just got something I need to do inside, but man, am I glad you two found each other. Thanks, so are we. And you and the Courageous made it possible. It's only right for me to return the favor by doing anything I can on board. Meanwhile, you've still got me in the role as the ship's designated sexiest officer. Well, I mean, you're twins, so wouldn't you both be equally as sexy? I mean, just saying. It's hard to even tell you apart except for your hairstyle. There's nothing different about you at all. But okay. I'm not sure whether or not you're serious, but that's not an actual job on the Courageous. Oh, Vivi, and here I thought you might have grown up a bit during our time apart. Oh, come on. You know you missed me. Okay, inside we go. Follow me. I'll show you the way. All right, then. Well, we'll see you later, Reen. Take care. See you around. Okay, time to go and see Valimar. Valimar! Maybe we can get some more of those EX orbs made.
Wow, that must have been tough.
Nah, not really.
Oh,
How did we get a C grade? What? I love how she was like, okay. Why did we get a C grade? I guess, was there more stuff to do that we didn't do? Maybe I should have explored more. I don't know. We did all of our bonding events. Thought we did. How are you feeling, Valimar? The battle yesterday must have been pretty hard on you. I'm fine. The damage to my armor and lost mana have largely recovered. I expect to be in peak condition before our next battle. That's good to hear. Just listening to you talk, you really have changed since we were first met. You seem to be talking a little more like a human now. Is that so? That would suggest that my memory is slowly recovering. What's that now? The part of me in which memories are stored appears to be damaged. I have a few memories of the past, such as I was sealed within the old schoolhouse to begin with. This includes my memories of language. Thus far, I have had to rely on the presence of bare minimum of speech functionality. However, thanks in a great part to your assistance, my speech functionality is slowly beginning to restore itself. Does that mean your memories of the past are starting to return too? It is an indistinct memory, as if clouded by white noise. I seem to recall someone burdened by a great sadness, much like yourself. That obvious, huh? I look that burdened to you? Someone died right before my eyes, and I was powerless to stop them. But the more I think about it, the more I realize that I might have been able to stop it from happening. And that regret's like a thorn stabbing into my heart. Was the person in your memory able to move past their burdens? I am unable to find my memory in any memories that answer that question. However, I believe that your sense of regret is an entirely natural process for humans. Is that not the case? Well, yeah, I guess. Give thought to what you would do differently and confront by the same situation again. If I can aid you, I shall. Yeah, you're right. I can't undo the past, but I can at least make sure I don't make the same mistake a second time. Perhaps considering how to do that is the best thing I can do right now. Thanks, Valimar. I feel a little better after talking to you. Then all is well. I am afraid I must return to sleep. Should you require my aid again, you need only to call my name. I need to keep on getting stronger. Strong enough that I can protect the people around me. The ship's maintenance is probably almost done now. Maybe I should take a nap or something while I wait for the others to get here. No rest for you. Yes, this is Reen Schwarzer speaking. Hey there, Reen. George here. Do you have a minute? George, is something wrong? Well, I'm over at the Ruhr Institute of Technology at the moment. And an acquaintance of mine here has a pretty interesting proposal regarding your Divine Knight. How soon do you think you can come over? A proposal? Who is this acquaintance of yours? Well, it's the Institute's president, actually. Professor Schmidt, the Empire's foremost orbital researcher. Okay. I wonder what his proposal is. I wonder if he wants to improve Valimar for us. Man, the internet connection tonight has been very all over the place. Pretty unreliable. It looks like we've dropped 5,775 frames throughout the course of the stream tonight. That's a lot. He looks a lot like Gwen. He looks like a more serious Gwen.
The name's G. Schmidt. I serve as this institute's president. I certainly wasn't expecting the pilot of that Ashen Knight to be only a boy. The Alliance ought to be damn near ashamed of themselves if they keep losing to a snot-nosed brat like you.
Wow, this dude. I don't think that's any way to talk to a person you've only just met. Besides, he happens to be one of the students who helped you get you that mirror medal, or minor medal earlier in the year.
And one of the students put out that request without any input from me. He should be kissing my boots for having the honor of assisting with research, however indirect it was.
Some things never change. Putting that aside, it is true. Or is it true? Were you the one responsible for developing the Panzer Soldats?
It is. Duke Cayenne made the request and I agreed to it. I used the ancient robot Ordine and the Society's Archisms as a reference point, and then designed a frame that could be mass-produced even with the Reinfer Company's technological capabilities. Afterward, I drew up plans for several models and oversaw the completion of a Draken prototype a few months back. Why do you ask?
Do you have any idea what you've done? You're wasting your time, Reen. He develops whatever catches his interest, loses himself in it until he's done, and to hell with the consequences. The railway guns in Guerrilla Fortress and the orbital wave jamming device in Nord were both designed by him, too. Unbelievable.
Bah! An engineer who doesn't strive to satisfy his intellectual curiosity is a sad sight of an engineer. We must design things. It's up to their users to decide what to do with them.
Do you get it now? It was because I couldn't cope with this part of him that I ended up going to the academy over here. Yeah, I totally get it, unfortunately. Oh, right. We made you come visit the professor to begin with. Or what made you?
Of course, that was what I called you here for. I was hoping I might be able to get some kind of advice or pointers from him. You know, about getting a new weapon for Valimar.
Oh.
And if I might be so bold as to offer a word of advice, get Valimar a better sword, one like yours. If you think you're such hot stuff you can beat me without your 8 leaves training, you're in for a world of hurt.
Correct choice of armaments is indeed paramount. Selecting one the Awakener is well suited to will increase combat efficiency exponentially.
George told me about what you're after. He says you want a weapon capable of fighting on equal terms with the Azure Knight. We might have gone our separate ways, but he's still a former student of mine. I'm open to the possibility of deciding something for you.
Really? You'd make a weapon for Valimar?
I said I'd be open to the possibility. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. If you want my help, I have one condition.
Zamarian ore. Ring any bells for you, Reen? I think so. You used that to make weapons for us before, didn't you, George?
Oh, you know of it? Saves me the effort of explaining, then. It's extremely rare ore found here in Zamaria. It's an astonishingly strong material that possesses a mysterious radiance within it. And what's more, as I learned while developing the Soldats, the frame of the Divine Knights are made up of that very ore. Your Ashen Knight included.
I had no idea. The double saber Ordine uses appears to be made of it too. Which, as I'm sure you figured out, means if you're ever going to compete against Crow, you're going to need a tachi. Oh, like a sword. You need a tachi made of Zamarian ore too.
To make one, however, you're going to need vast quantities of ore. Yet it was only recently discovered how to refine the ore at all. Processing will be immensely difficult. But bring me the materials and I'll be willing to assist you. The concept of a weapon that can compete against Divine Knights is of great interest to me.
Even when you're helping out people, it's only to help yourself. It'd be nice if you were doing it to atone for your developing the Soldats, but I can't picture those words coming out of your mouth.
The very thought makes me feel ill. Bear in mind, Zamarian ore is incredibly raw material, or rare.
Jeez, reading skills.
Bear in mind, Zamarian ore is incredibly rare material. I doubt you'll find enough of it to get the job done. Still, should you pull it off, I'll design you the finest tachi you have ever laid your eyes on. On my name as an engineer, I can promise you that.
Thank you, Professor. This will be a great help to us. Rare or not, we're going to find all the Zamarian ore we can to make this work.
I'll keep my expectations low.
Interesting character. Alright. The advice Reen received on forging a new weapon for Valimar came from a surprising source, but they could not have asked for better. After politely excusing themselves, Reed and George left the Institute to reunite with the rest of the crew. And once the maintenance was declared complete, they boarded the Courageous and departed from Roar. 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 I still feel like this is at the point in the game where something's gonna drop. Something big is going to happen. Like, I thought that was going to happen back in Roar. I mean, it kind of did with Vulcan, because Vulcan's been an important player on the enemy side for, the last game into this game. But it just feels like something big is about to happen in this game, and I don't know. In the last game, there were these moments, it kind of built up to, and then they would drop the bomb on you, like, oh, big earth-shattering things. And I feel like this game's had its moments, but I feel like the big moment, kind of like Guerrilla Fortress being attacked, but that was at the very end of the last game. I feel like a moment like that we're due for something like that, right? So, we'll see. I have to tell you, I'm impressed. I was expecting this beauty of a ship to be on the feisty side, but she's a real sweet girl. Haha, cutting through the clouds like this feels wonderful. I can get used to this. Wow, I can't believe how quickly you've gotten the hang of it, Angie.
Well, I'll be damned. Looks like you won't be needing me around any longer if you're this good with her.
Hey, why thank you. I hereby accept the position of Chief Helmsman and the Courageous Second in Command. She really is amazing. Haha, there's no one out there who can tame a vehicle as fast as Angie. We're not going to have to worry about a thing with her around. Moving right along, the good news is that we were able to liberate Roar. I don't think any of us could have predicted how much the war situation would change in the process.
Marquis Roger and his provisional army withdrawal from the conflict will have a profound effect going forward. Losing one of their key members is bound to be a painful loss to the Alliance. For one thing, it should make things easier for Lieutenant General Vander and the 3rd Armored Division. Their greatest concern before now was the Nordian Provincial Army, after all. So the Alliance's overwhelming supremacy is finally starting to sway.
Only in the East Arabonia, though. They still come out on top in the West. Right, Prince Olbert said as much too. General Le Guin and Brigadier General Bardius are out there claiming one victory after another. And then there's your brother, Eustace. He's a brilliant leader and it shows.
I see.
Be that as it may, all we can do is focus our efforts on the Eastern Front for now. That's what we're entrusted with, and fretting over things we can't change won't do us any good, right?
That's putting it into perspective, yes. We've got our hands full over here as it is, so let's make every move count.
Time to get back to gathering all the info we can.
Speaking of, mind giving us an update on the situation with Valamar's weaponry?
Alright, how could we forget? Professor Smith agreed to cooperate with us, didn't he?
Cooperate is a strong word, Elisa. He only cares about what interests him. And that it ends up benefiting us is purely secondary. And remember, he's only going to help if we can happen to find enough Zemarian ore to make the weapon. How we're going to get stuff that rare is beyond me, though. You said Valamar himself is made of that ore, did you not? You wouldn't happen to have any ideas, would you, Emma?
I'm afraid the Hexen clan knows very little concerning the creation of the Divine Knights. Some legends passed down through the clan say they were made during the time of the Great Collapse. Specifically, they were forged by artisans who called themselves gnomes.
That's an interesting name. I know of the term from old stories, much like anyone else, but I had no idea a band of artisans by that name existed.
Supposedly, they once worked closely with the clan's ancestors. But somewhere down the line, the witches and the gnomes ended up parting ways. I couldn't tell you exactly when. How curious. Maybe so, but none of that's going to help us find any ore. Our chances of finding enough were pretty slim to begin with. I know where you can get enough, but only if you're willing to overcome some very difficult trials to obtain them. You do? Really? What do I have to gain by lying? You see, there are ruins scattered all across Erebonia called spirit shrines. Aha! Aha! I knew it! We kept seeing these shrines everywhere we go, but we never went to them or never had a reason to go to them. Here we go. I knew eventually. I mean, obviously, yeah, it's a place on the map. It's a place in the game. You're gonna have to go there eventually. I knew it. They were built on top of septium veins long, long ago by the gnomes to encourage the formation of massive Zemarian ore crystals. Those crystals were in turn used to create the Divine Knights. So if there's any place in Erebonia to start looking for vast amounts you need, it's there. I had no idea. Why didn't you tell us this before now? Am I supposed to be a mind reader? It wasn't exactly relevant until now, so why bring it up? No need to bite our heads off. Hey, she told us now, right? All we gotta do is go to one of those shrines and we'll be rolling in ore. Well, let's hope so. We've got a lot on our plate checking up on the country, but exploring a shrine's been our best lead yet. And no matter how difficult it might be, a little thing like a trial isn't gonna scare us away, right? Right! So yeah. With the discussion coming to an end, their destination had been decided. Before departing, however, Class 7 thought it best to check if there were any new requests for Prince Olivert. And their timing turned out to be quite apt, as he had very recently sent several their way. Alright, and they're all optional, but we're still gonna do them. Absolutely. So here's the deal. An airliner got hijacked mid-trip and went missing, but we managed to track it to the Isengard range. Right now, the hostages are still inside, so we're gonna rescue them. It's gonna be tough given that the hijackers are armed, but that's where you and the courageous come in. Toa can give you the specifics on how to reach us, but we'll be waiting in the Isengard range. See you there! Dearest ladies and gentlemen, I have taken the liberty of calling upon you for a request of my own, unbeknownst to my worthy rival. I have left a letter in the location indicated by the Blue Cross. I think you'll find it well worth your while to read it. Oh, Blue Blanc. What's Blue Blanc doing giving us requests when he's our enemy? Whatever, he's kind of an eccentric weird one anyways, so I guess it makes sense for him. Imagine Eustace Albria weeping for the safety of his province's people as they chase through the streets by ravaging monsters. Surely you would not let such a dire scene come to pass, would you? The battle is set. The Nornian cruising highway awaits. This one's from Clyde. I'm happy to see that Hebel's with him too. Not so happy about the airliner going missing though. Doesn't seem like something we can afford to ignore, dangerous as it sounds. But look at this one. The Phantom Thief B? What's this about reading a letter? As if we have time to be concerning ourselves with his pathetic antics. I know what you mean, really, but ignoring it might be even worse. Yep, we've got all our work cut out for us. Hey, Reed, I want to help look out for everyone. Let me come with you, okay? Alright. Sophie's gonna be the mandatory character of this arc. Really cool. I glad that we just did a bonding event with Fee, so that's cool. Awesome. Of course, Fee, you're always welcome. I think Selene and I should come with you when we're exploring the shrine too. Oh, so now not only Fee but Emma. That's all right. We were gonna bring Emma anyways, so pretty cool. And I did want to kind of start using Fee again because, well, we haven't used her since the beginning of the game, so cool. I was about to say the same thing. And make sure you're ready before you go. I wasn't kidding when I said the trials were difficult. It's temporarily impossible to remove Fee from the party. Okay, well, you know, I want to bring Emma too. Who else? Who else do we want to take? I want Laura and I want Elisa. Maybe Elliot. But I feel like Sarah is so good that I almost want to take her too. I kind of want to take Elliot. This is a tough one. This is a tough one. Tough decision. Tough decision. I'm trying to... How should I decide whether my decision's down between Elliot and... I think it's got to be Sarah, right? Sorry, Elliot. Sarah's just too good to not take, right? She's just really useful. Her crafts are really good and stuff. Her stats are really good. Yeah, it's hard not to take her. Alright, well, where are we going to go next? To the shrines? To the optional quest? What are we going to do? We got our party and we got to organize it. Well, see you in the next one. Find out then. Adios, amigos.